Hi everyone, and welcome back to Uniquely You. I'm your host, Unique Essence, and thank you guys so much for stopping by today. I hope everyone has been doing good, y'all. My holiday spirit is kind of coming in a little bit. I did get my calendar right for December and planned the whole month out, and that's been really cute and fun. But I plan on making a vision board and really taking it in way more, because y'all, the new year is coming. It's so crazy. We're about to be in 2025. I cannot believe it. I'm going into 2025 with my podcast, with my YouTube. Y'all, I just hit 500 subscribers today. 500 right at the end of the year. And it's so crazy because I was hitting around 400 or 450, I think, last year, right around the same time. So it's so crazy. You just feel like it's aligned. I don't know. But to get past all that, today's episode will be about self-awareness and why it's the key to living a fulfilling life. Now, before we dive into all of this stuff, I do want to get into what self-awareness actually is. And so I did write down in my cute little notebook, as you guys can see. So let's get into it for real. Self-awareness is the ability to see yourself clearly and understand how your thoughts, emotions, and actions align with your values. Now, personally, I think self-awareness is very important. I feel like my second episode, the episode about self-reflection, kind of ties into this a bit because I feel like being self-aware kind of plays a part in self-reflecting. You have to be aware of yourself to actually go back and realize what it is you did and what things you want to change. Personally, I don't feel like my self-awareness really came for real until I was in high school, kind of leaving out of high school. I didn't realize that other people perceive me differently regardless of what I put out and think I'm putting out. So when I kind of realized that, I feel like that's when I kind of became real hyper self-aware of myself and my actions, what I say, what I do, and just how I move in general. So I feel yeah, definitely around my high school era, I feel it's when I kind of got into that a lot more. Now I want to get into why self-awareness is so important. I have a few things written down and let's get into it. The first one is that it helps with better decision making. I feel when you're more self-aware, you can make better decisions for yourself. The second one is that it can help with your communication. I feel when you're more self-aware and realize how you feel and realize why you feel it, you can then communicate it better to other people and overall just grow your relationships with anybody around you even more. And my last one is that it leads to a stronger sense of purpose and alignment with your values. I feel when you're self-aware and know what you want, when you realize that and actually build towards that, you can knock down anything that doesn't align with that and just overall feel more better doing those things. Now, like everything, there's a positive and a negative. Here are a few things that might indicate that you have low self-awareness. The first one is difficulty accepting constructive criticism. The second one is repeating the same mistakes without understanding why. I was literally in this spot for a long time, y'all. I'll find myself in the same situations over and over and over, and I would be so confused as to why I kept finding myself in them. And it took me time, it took me a lot of effort to actually realize why am I doing these things and why am I putting myself in places where I don't feel good, where I don't enjoy them, why am I doing this? And when I realized that, I was able to cut all that out. So if you find yourself being in the same places over and over and making the same mistakes, it's probably time to start looking inward and realizing what you're doing to keep finding yourself in them. Because us as people can be so quick to point a finger at other people, but always remember that when you point one, there's three more pointing back at you every time. The last one is feeling disconnected or unsure of your goals. And I was also in this spot. And actually today, like I just told y'all, I hit 500 subscribers on YouTube today. But I was just second guessing, recording content, doing content. It was so on my head heavy. And I had to sit back with myself and realize, Unique, you started this for a reason. And I had to really think about my why. Y'all, I said that in my last episode. Always remember your why whenever you're having any doubts about anything you're pursuing. Because that why gonna always pick you back up. But I was having doubts and I had to sit down with myself and realize why do you feel this way? What's going on? I broke everything down. And I only do that by being self-aware and taking the time to actually learn myself. Now, the talk can be cheap sometimes, and I feel a lot of folks kind of just yap, including myself. I run my mouth a lot, y'all. I talk so much. I am a yapper bad, okay? But I also have some tactics and little tips that can also help you out with building your self-awareness up, because I'm not finna just sit here and give you guys all this blah 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 and not tell y'all how to actually build self-awareness. Now, the first thing I have written down for if you want to build your own self-awareness is to make sure that you start participating in actual reflection processes. So whether that be journaling or meditating, take time for yourself to just be able to just put everything else aside and think about you. Just put yourself in that moment, put yourself in that present moment, and just take yourself in, feel everything, let all the thoughts just come in your head, just feel everything. Get that journal and start journaling, y'all. I started journaling literally a few months ago, and it helps me so much more than just keeping everything just bloated in my head all the time. Some folks can sit down and go through their own thoughts, but I'm a person where I can do that, but I also have to get it out some way or another. And I like journaling. It really helps me a lot. And I feel when I put it on paper, I can better understand it because I'm actually seeing it on paper. When it's on paper, I just understand it 10 times more. I feel this kind of ties into the first point, but talking to yourself can also help. I talk to myself a lot. not in like a creepy way, but like just like there's like an inner monologue, like if y'all get what I'm saying. Like I don't know, like you can also do body scans and deep breaths. Take time to scan your body, just feel everything, take it all in for real. And then like not even that, take deep breaths. Like I was watching this TikTok and I was just scrolling. I was kind of doom scrolling on TikTok, and like this lady had popped up and she was just like saying like little cute stuff like take 5 deep breaths, shake your hands, like just doing little random stuff. But like after she was done, she was telling us that to like stay in the present moment, take the present moment in, just take a deep breath, y'all. And like I swear to you, like it just kind of brings you back down and kind of just understand your mind a little bit better. Because if you have that loud, just crazy, always going mind, it can get real tiring, y'all. Trust me, I know. Another one is seeking feedback from the ones you trust the most. But if you do this, make sure that you are able to take constructive criticism. Be open-minded to a different perception of yourself. Now, with building your self-awareness, there are going to be challenges that come over time, and I feel like that's with everything you ever try to do in your life. There's going to always be a little challenge regardless. Some of those challenges might be things like self-criticism. Sometimes we can be our best friend or our worst enemy, and honestly, it gets bad, okay? Make sure that you're balancing that self-criticism with self-compassion. As much as you're going to get yourself about doing those bad things and probably messing up a few times, make sure you're also speaking good to yourself, putting yourself in good places, saying great affirmations, like just making yourself feel good. Because if you balance it out, you won't be so dragged down by the self-criticism. Another thing that also might be a challenge is discovering uncomfortable truths about yourself. Sometimes there are things that you don't want to think back on. There are probably so many things you wish you could have changed, and you don't want to really bring it back up because you kind of want to just push it to the back of your head. But you have to just be able to take all that in. You have to be willing to take yourself 100%. Like circle it all back around. Self-awareness itself is the ability to understand yourself completely, and just you taking the time to actually learn yourself can be such a great factor in building a life that you truly want to live. I already said before in my last like 4 episodes, if you don't know yourself, how can you expect to build a life for yourself? You have to be willing to learn yourself. You have to be willing to unlearn everything that you have learned. You got to be willing to just put in all the work to be the best you can be, and you only can go through that by being self-aware and learning who you are. Yeah guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And Merry Christmas, I guess, because I mean it's Christmas Eve today, y'all. Turn up. But I will see you guys real soon. Thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for more Uniquely You.